What is up, everybody? I am RenaMarq, your modern Renaissance content creator, your friendly neighborhood content creator, and I am here doing another episode of Per-Sception with my boy, my fam. This is one of my brothers right here. Fucking, let me just go down the list. Producer, fucking engineer, cinematographer, photographer, filmmaker, fucking man of many motherfucking hats, to be honest. This is my boy Sevn Breed right here. This is my brother right here. Sevn, introduce yourself to the people and let's do this. What's up, man?
What's good, man? You
Uh, I,
basically nailed it, man. Like, I'm basically all that. I
I
don't know
love
about the filmmaking yet. Like, I'm still working on that. So
shit.
I'm just a man of many hats,
And that's what I like to
basically.
fucking hear, man. What's up, man? Welcome. It's an honor to have you on Per-Sception. As you know, the Per-Sception series is kind of like a
Yeah,
discussion based, no pre-written questions, just a flow of conversation slash creator spotlight slash interview, however way you want to put it.
right.
Um, I usually ask questions, but if you have any questions for me as a creator or whatever the case may be, or just any questions in general, personal, whatever the case may be, ask a fucking way. I'm here. And what I do want to do is to get started, let's talk about the projects that over the years that you have produced. And you, since you are a man of many hats, talk about all projects, whether it's behind the camera, whether it's in the music software, whether it's recording, let us know.
Well, first off, like I started off being like a camera guy, helping out with my people's undefeated losers. Um so I basically started off with them, doing some film stuff, photography. And then at one point, I felt like I wanted to branch off into other things,
Right.
especially like music related. So I kind of did that like maybe like a couple months by myself. And then I teamed up with my cousin to do a whole like company type situation, like record label and stuff. And then from that, I was able to take away a lot of like experiences and stuff like that, and it actually helped grow me into who I am right now. Like there are certain things that I didn't even know that I can do until I literally started working with him. And thankfully, it's a cousin of mine, so it's like to be able to have somebody like to pull that out of you and is related to you is a big thing. So from there, I just got into like music production. I've always been musically inclined.
Feel that?
It's just now that I recently like took it like as a profession, and from there, I was making beats, engineering, recording other artists and stuff. So there was a lot of like nights where I wasn't sleeping, man. You could tell, like I was not sleeping at all. But now I'm trying to get at least like 7 hours of
A
sleep,
lot of that was
because
probably due to my ass. Yo, can you get this done,
exactly,
bro? Please. Yo, can you get this done, bro? Please. Like a lot of that was
yeah,
probably due to fucking me, bro.
yeah. There were times
Fuck.
where I would just fall asleep in the middle of a session, and then I'll just hear the music playing in the background. I'll just wake up and out of my sleep and be like, change that, and then go back to sleep. And then everybody's just like, wait, what is he talking about? Like, change what? And I'm like, and then when I wake up and I'm like, just change it and you'll understand. I go back to sleep and then they already know what it is. But
That's what I'm talking
but
about, man. Fucking
yeah,
to talk about being musically inclined, right? Having different hats to wear and more so taking music seriously. I know that there's been times where, in kind of like how you stated, where like you started off behind the camera. Now, I even know now you're getting, you're really back behind the camera and doing your thing. How does it feel to shift? Like, how does it feel to really be on that wave where, like, you have, like, this, you wake up and you have this passion, and that's telling you, yo, I gotta be behind the camera more. Like, this is what it is. And then, like, 2 months down the road, you get boom hit with music, and like, okay, I gotta record, I gotta produce, I gotta engineer, and then later on you're like, nah, I gotta film. Like, how does that work? Like, to wake up and be like, my passion is now in the other room.
Um, I guess the best way I could say it, it comes with my sign because I'm a Pisces.
That's what it is.
So basically, you give us a blank canvas and we're able to give you whatever that we're filming. So me, I just go by like how I feel, to be honest. Like I could wake up and just want to make a beat. And then other days I'll wake up and want to go out and do a photo shoot or something. So it all depends on how I'm feeling at the moment. It's like kind of like Kanye a little. It's kind of like Kanye a little bit, like how he's able to go from one thing to the other. Is at the end of the day, it's just a feeling,
Right.
and it's like something that can't be explained. It's like once you feel like, all right, this is what I want to do for the day, you just go ahead and do it. If you're not feeling it, you just leave it alone. So, like even I remember, it's a funny story. Remember when when I was trying to rap
Yeah. Yeah.
and how terrible I was, and then you told me like, "Yo, this is if it's not you, do not do it." And that was like one of the best advice that you ever gave me because everybody was just telling me like, "Yo, you good, you good," but it's just like to have that person to tell you like,
Right.
"Yo, you gotta take it serious."
Right.
At that moment, I was not taking it serious, and I didn't know my voice like that, so I just left it alone, and then I went back to what I do,
Right.
what I'm comfortable with.
Do you feel that, because I completely see that with you. Like, you are one of the only people that I know who honestly is like the creative. You feel what I mean? Like, I don't like, there's not that many people who are like that. Like, some people are very, very talented in this. You get what I mean? Like, some people, you'd be like, yes, that person was supposed to rap. That person was supposed to be behind a camera. That person was supposed to film. Do you feel like it shorts you a bit being able to wake up and like boom? Like, do you feel like you can lose things in that nature? Like you do you feel like you can be like, "Whoa, I had a beat in my head, but nah, I need to be behind the camera for today." And if you lose that beat, like, does that happen? Like, does your passions make you lose some of your creativity when you wake up and have that feeling to do one over the other?
Honestly, no. Like
Really?
even now when I just got back into editing
Right.
and basically the programs are all the same thing. So I was able to just jump back into even now like Adobe Premiere. I
Yeah.
just got into that and it looks pretty easy for me because I have that training in Final Cut Pro.
Right.
So jumping from one thing to the other day, I don't forget certain things. Like I
Right.
have it mentally there. Like even now, if I go back to making beats, I can easily do that.
Right.
Like not to sound like like you know how Kanye is like
Talk your
I
shit,
am
dog.
this. It's like I'm trying to be humble as much as possible with this,
Right.
but I'm just good at this shit that I could do it in my sleep.
Talk your shit, boy. Talk your shit, boy. Yo, fuck it. That's what I like. Like,
I
I'm
could do that
starting
shit in
to.
my sleep, man.
That's what I like to fucking hear, man. Because damn, man, like, let's talk about growth. Like, seeing you grow beyond when we first met, which was two totally different. Like, we are way more evolved than when we first met each other. Which was a couple of years ago at this point.
Yeah.
What are we looking at? Maybe
It
what,
was like 2017,
yeah,
right?
maybe 2017. Had to be no later
Yeah,
than 2018, but yeah, definitely about 2017.
yeah.
Um, and even from that, like, just being able to not only see you grow, but see you maneuver not only your passions, but some of the situations that you had to kind of weave in and weave out from. Like with that, I would like to know, how do you manage not losing like the creativity when you have to, when life is kind of ahead first in those moments, like when life is kind of battering your creativity, like how do you maneuver through that? Because I've seen you do
It's not easy. Trust me, it's
it.
not. Like I had so many mental breakdowns, and I'll even touch up on this.
Yeah,
With
please.
it's kind of hard for me to do it, but you know you gotta be real with this shit.
Right.
But when my pops passed, like, and I remember I called you while I was at the
Yeah.
hospital, and I
Yeah.
was in front of his body.
Yeah.
Like his spirit was not his spirit was not there, but his body was there. And I called
I
you
got
right in front of him.
so mad at you for that shit, bro. I respected it, but I was like, I didn't give a fuck about my album at this time, bro. Go do it, like.
But yeah, I remember I was working on your album, and
Right.
then at that moment, I had to be like honest with you. I was just like, yo, I don't think I can do this anymore,
Yeah.
and I needed to take a step back and just see what I want to do creatively because the spark wasn't there. And then for a long period of time, I kept fighting it and fighting it and fighting it, but none of the stuff that I was making, like, it was connecting with me. And
Right.
then even now, recently, the reason why I even stopped doing music a little bit was because I did not feel connected to anything I was making. Like there
Mm.
are times where I'll make a beat and then I would just won't like it and I just put it to the side in the folder and then just step away from it. So it was just like I had to learn how to like take breaks for myself.
Right.
Cause like us creatives, like especially in Jersey, we're just so focused on like getting things done.
Yeah.
Like it has to
Yeah.
be done at this time.
A thousand
And
percent.
it's like, yo, you gotta tell yourself like, yo, you could give yourself time to work on certain projects because at the end of the day, those projects will be out. But what's more important is your health and
Yes.
your mental health. So you gotta make sure that you're doing the things to make sure that your body is it's like you could go out with a hot with a dope ass car and everything like that, but if you're looking all crazy, then what's the
That
point?
shit not gonna matter when you step out that car and
Exactly.
you looking like a bum. That shit don't matter if your
Exactly.
rims is clean. Like you still,
Exactly.
if that inside is disgusting.
Exactly. So that's how I'm able to like maneuver around. Like whenever I feel like I need to take a break, I'll just take a break. Or I'll just create like a schedule for myself throughout the week. Like one day I'll dedicate to music, another day I'll dedicate to going outside doing photo shoots, or other days a music video shoot or something like that. So I just create a good schedule for myself and have a day for me to just relax and just chill out, read a book, go to the beach because now it's starting to get warmer out.
You know that's right.
So little things like that.
I like that. And what I do want to mention too is the feeling of connection. You are you are one of the top people who I know where if it don't feel right, you not doing it. But with that, I do want to dive just a little bit deeper into that and going back on something you said in the last answer where you said, you know, you may make a beat and it goes in the folder because you may just not feel connected to music even as of right now. As a person who, you are a curator of sort. You are a builder. I see you as a crafter of sort. Do you feel like you don't feel connected to music because of like the way it needs to be complete? Because like you can build you could build a beat, you could be the producer, you could be the curator, you can get the recording done, but like the missing piece will always be the person to rap, sing,
Mhm.
whatever the case may be. Do you feel like sometimes maybe, and I'm gonna ask a deeper question here, do you feel like because you're not, or you sometimes don't feel as connected to people, that stops you from being
Mm,
connected to music? Because you need to be connected to that person for your beat to really shine the way it should. Because you can get anybody on a beat, but
yeah,
that's not you. Like, you get the person who that beat is for. But sometimes if you don't feel connected to that, to a person, you may just be like, in your head you can make the dopest beat, but if your feelings of people, or if your connection to people lack, you may just be like, fuck it, who am I giving this to? And then that may be your correlation to not connecting to the music. What do you think?
yeah. Um, it could be that too, because I'll give you a prime example.
Shoot.
When I had took a trip out to Atlanta for one of my cousin's birthday party.
Facts.
When we first touched down there, we ate and then we went to the studio. And the crazy part about that story is there was this one guy that I wanted to meet. He came through to to my cousin's studio, and then, mind you, they all having fun, stoning each other, cracking jokes on each other, and also writing
Right.
and writing to the beats that are being presented. So as they're doing that, I was in the corner to myself, just dishing out beats after beats after beats after beats. Like, and I'm not talking about like just making a beat, making a loop, and then
Simple loop
not,
shit.
I'm
Nah.
actually like constructing the whole thing, like verse one, verse two, hook, outro, all of that. Each, I think I probably created like 10 beats that whole entire night,
Just sitting in the corner,
just
bang,
sitting there
bang,
cooking
bang,
up.
bang.
Just,
Ah,
and then
fuck,
everybody's
nigga.
just looking at me like, "Yo, what's going on here?" And then my cousin, shout out to Hollywood Pat,
Hollywood Pat,
he
shout
was
out.
just like, "Yo, it's because of the different environment that you're in.
Yeah.
You were basically able to take that person's energy because he's a Gemini. The person I was doing that for,
Right.
I was able to take his energy, and you know how, like back in the day, like Tupac, they said that whenever he would record to a beat, he'll just go on to the next thing. He wouldn't
Right.
stick to the same thing
Right.
for a whole entire night. He'll record to it, move on to the next.
Right.
Record, move on to the next. The engineers, they could do whatever they want to the music and all that, but he was just focused on getting everything done
Right.
within that night. So I applied that same energy that Tupac had to him, and I basically took that energy and then threw it back at him and was just like, all right, here's a beat right here, record to that. Here's another one. Here's another. And he's looking at me crazy, like, yo, where did this kid come from? Like,
And that's the beauty too, because I've seen you do that in person. I've seen,
once in a blue moon.
once in the, yeah, definitely once in the blue
Yeah.
moon. Fucking, but there's been times where I've seen you bang, 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 and you know, and seeing you construct as well, like, even time, back then when we was doing our first project that we worked on,
LAN.
LAN, shout out, and even the one that inspired that, which I still have those, by the way. I might wind up doing something to those my damn self, to be honest. But fucking, but
You talking shit, man.
yeah, I'm talking my shit. With that, I want to talk about. I do want to go into a little bit more of your creative mind, because do you think that people are hard to follow your creative lead? Like, do you feel like people? Do you think you overwhelm people with that type of creativity, or is it really like, well, if you feel overwhelmed, you are not the right person to work with?
Honestly, I have not gone through any situations with people
Mm-hmm.
that I work with. They all felt the same way. Like I dedicate my time to what I'm working on with them. Like, even more so, like one of the artists that I still keep in touch with. he's like a real a close friend of mine too. And he told me that, yo, I kind of miss it when this is like before the pandemic.
Right.
He told me like, yo, he missed like coming through to my crib to work on music because, yo, we would just sit there, talk about hip hop and then watch some hip hop documentaries, listen to some vinyls, and then while he's like doing that, I'll cook up a beat, and I'm taking in that frequency and that
Right.
energy in the room and applying it to what I'm making for him at that moment. And then whenever I'll play it for him, he'll be like, "Yo, this is it," and then he'll just record to it. So it's like I'm always able to adapt to every situation that I'm in. So
Right.
I've never run into any issues with any artist that I've worked with. Like all of them are a blessing to me, including you. Like
I appreciate
and
that.
your team too. All the guys over there.
We
Like shout out
appreciate
to
that.
them. Like hopefully we could reconnect, man, on some creative shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. You come on now. Yeah, come on now. Come on, boy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Especially
Exactly.
because me and you already have talks in the works of things that are coming. The pandemic kind of shifted time framing, but that's back on. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
Now, I do want to go. I usually like I usually do. I go a little bit dark, and then we're kind of go back to the light a bit. Let's talk about the mental toll of these different creative passions, because each of your creative paths and outlets have very hard industries to get, like, to be in, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just like, hey y'all, like, I'm a producer, or hey y'all, I'm a photographer, you know what I'm
Boom.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, what do you do? What's your style? What do where did you come from? How did you build yourself? What is the mental capacity in that? Like how do you not only try to be in the producer space, but be in the photographer space, be in the cinematographer space, be in the filmmaking space, like, kind of seemingly at the same time. Of course, you kind of maybe put one step of one over the other, but to really smooth out, like, how do you deal with that?
Um, one key word that you said was trying. I don't necessarily try anything. It just
You just
things just
do.
happen. I just let things happen organically, man. Like I could just be in a room full of creatives and just most of the time I'm just sitting there just listening. Cause if you're talking all the time, then you're not listening and you're not absorbing any type of information. So most of the time I'm just listening to people, I'm just taking what they're saying, and then that might spark an idea for something. And then we go from there. Like I've never had any issues like going from one realm to the other.
Right.
I just know how to like just jump in. Like say somebody hit me up like, yo, you wanna come by and listen to some stuff? I'll come through. Like sometimes I might not come, but
Right.
I'll find life finds its way of happening, like
Right.
and bringing people together. So eventually things are gonna work out. So like I just don't try things. I don't force it. I don't try it. It just happens. That's the best way I can put it.
I like that, because that'll go right into my follow up, because like you said, like, life happens, like, you don't force it, and trust and believe, I have witnessed that firsthand. Do you feel like, even with that type of mentality, like, do you feel like that's kind of puts, like, the hourglass, like the sand? Do you ever feel like that type of pressure where, like, your hourglass is kind of dwindling down because of, like,
No,
you're just smoothed out?
no, nope.
I like that,
Because
man.
honestly, man, you can't put time on creativity.
Thank
You
you.
can't. Like if you're telling yourself like, "Oh, I got to get this done within this month," you know what's gonna happen. It's not
getting
gonna
it done.
happen.
Yep.
So, because, bro, there's plenty of times where I said I was gonna do a beat album. I mean, I've done it once, and
Right.
how long ago was that? This was like
2016, 2017,
this
20,
was like yeah,
2018? Yeah, 20,
no, probably 2017. This is right after I
2017.
met you.
Yeah, so this
I don't
had to
know.
be 2017.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only musical project that I put out for myself. Like I've had stuff that I produced for other people, but
Right.
as far as like my own project, that's the only project that is out. And it's probably not even out anymore because it's not on my SoundCloud at all, too. And
True.
I don't even have the album on my hard drive, but my
Is it
cousin does, and he'll tell me like, "Yo, that shit was so fire."
is
And
it
I'm
on
just
your
like,
Bandcamp?
"Hmm."
Is it on your Bandcamp?
That I don't think I have a Bandcamp though,
I don't
because I remember
either
I only
either.
did it for SoundCloud at that time.
That's right. That's right. You only did the one release. Oh
Yeah, it was only on
shit.
SoundCloud. Yeah.
Damn.
So, and it's a good thing I did because there was some stuff that I used that I don't know. I mean, I used it on a royalty free site,
Yeah.
but luckily I just put it on SoundCloud just to avoid any issues.
Yeah. Which is good.
But yeah, but honestly, like I've only did like one project for myself, and right now I'm probably gonna work on another one. Who knows when that's gonna come out? But I'm just enjoying the process because eventually something's gonna come out.
Right.
So the best way I could put it is I'm on my Andre 3000 time right now.
Just walking around with the flute.
Yeah, flute of creativity,
You know what I'm
basically.
saying? Just fucking out here, bro.
Yeah, I'm just walking around just doing what I can. And as like the best way I could say it is if I'm able to do what I like and I'm able to go home and still enjoy my life and enjoy what I'm making, I'm cool with that. Like I'm fine with that. Like I finally reached a point where I'm happy with what I'm doing. So it's just basically staying focused, being disciplined, having structure, and having that time to myself to just decompress and relax and then get back into the game again and doing what I have to do and just knowing when to take breaks.
I like that. I I like that a lot because you is so refreshing to hear you move to your own. But one of the biggest things about you is that you are what people like to say a student. You know what I mean? Like you will study. You will study things that people don't even like. Of course an athlete will study Kobe, but you as a photographer will study Kobe and utilize that into the photography industry. You will study Diddy or Dr. Dre or Kanye and use that for cinematography and not even for music. Like, like you will study, you know, pretty much like you could study somebody in one profession and not only put it to the same profession if you do that, but also put it into a whole different creative passion. Talk to me about that. Like, how are you able to find like common denominators in what you study to what you do?
Damn, you just that's a crazy question. Um the best way I could put it is I like stuff that are visually clear
Mm-hmm.
and sonically clear.
Right,
That's the best way I can put it. Like if it sounds very clean, then it's past my test.
right.
And the best person I could say that has done that and mastered it is Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Cause I just got a new car like not too long ago around May.
Right.
Got some good got a good system in it. Let
Yes.
me tell you, when I played some Dr. Dre music in that car compared to what I was riding with before that,
Right.
night and day.
I
The guy is a genius. Like, yes,
like
we have
that.
our Pharrells, we have our Kanyes, we have our
Correct.
Madlib, our J Dilla, rest in
Yes.
peace.
Rest in
We
peace.
have all these music gods, Quincy Jones, Diddy,
Yes.
all these people. But Dr. Dre, he makes music sound so clear, like especially like in the 90s, like back then, like
Yeah.
when the Chronic came out.
Yeah.
If you compare the Chronic to other albums that came out around that time, it's completely different,
It's one of the
man.
more polished. It's one of the most polished albums of hip
Yeah,
hop of all time, especially for
yeah,
that era.
yeah. Like if you listen, like the best song I could say that that basically is a great example of that is Lil Ghetto Boy with
Yeah.
him and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
If you listen to Snoop Dogg's vocals, that shit sounds pitch clear, and
Damn.
Dr. Dre's too. Like that's the type of like work that I try to apply to like what I do. Like anytime I'm working on something, I gotta make sure that it's quality that I'm putting out. So it's quality over quantity.
Always.
That's the best way I can say it, because
Always.
you could be out here dropping hella singles, dropping hella beats, dropping hella videos and shit like that, but if it's not top notch quality, then what are you doing this for?
Right.
Because you
Fucking
got
to
to
the
take
wayside.
into exactly, you got to take into account the people that are listening to your shit, that are watching your shit. Like you want to make sure we're in service to the people. So we got to make sure we're feeding them the right stuff, quality. If we're not, then what are you doing this shit for?
Damn. Damn, that's a good ass answer. That's a whew, there it is.
That was off the top of my head, man. I was
with probably like we're getting into the lighter side here. Let's not I don't not even in comparison, but explain in your way your growth, like from things that you have done, whether it's been released or not. Like explain how you evolve through these different processes.
um the best way I can put it. Yeah, I hate saying that. Yeah, I keep saying that too many times,
No, no,
but
shit.
the best way I could put it.
Yeah,
Like
fuck
I'm
it.
sounding mad redundant, but
It's all good.
but it's God that is helping me, man.
Yeah, it is.
Like he's like the biggest creator of them all.
It is.
Like we're here because of him. Like he created us. So like I would say like my evolution, my growth is all from him. Like because at the end of the day, if you're always the same person, for you like this, like you go like when we was kids, right? There were
Right.
certain things that we like cartoons and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I still love cartoons to this day.
Right.
But there's certain ways that I act and the way that certain things that I watch, like that I watch now, I probably wouldn't have watched them when I was a kid.
Right. Right.
So it's like now I'm just basically evolving to a new person at different points in my life. Like right now I'm 30 years old.
Right.
I just hit 30 and then that shift like just happened like that. Like now I'm not seeing things the way that I used to anymore.
Right.
Like even like basketball, like I don't even be watching that shit that much anymore.
Me
I don't
neither.
know I don't know why, but it's just like I'd rather just like if I'm not watching basketball, I'd rather be watching something that is teaching me something, like some documentaries, read a book or something like that. Stuff
Yeah.
to evolve my mind as a creative and as a human being. So I just it just comes from God, man. That's the best way I can put it, man. Like God is the one that is helping me to evolve.
I
So
like that.
that's the only thing that's the only thing I can say about that.
Hell yeah. And I like that. And one of the better things with that is knowing when to evolve, how to evolve, and knowing that you're evolving when you're evolving and not trying to
Right.
retrograde yourself back, because evolution can be scary. Like when you're evolving, like mentally, like that shit could, like, mentally, spiritually, creatively, it could be scary because at some point you're like, well, if I don't like some of this stuff anymore, will I be as creative? Like with you being 30, was there a fear where it's like, yo, like, okay, like the stuff, the creativity and the way I was and the stuff that I liked that helped me build things up to, you being, you're like 26 years old, 28 years old. If you shift out of that going into 30, there a fear there where it's like, fuck, if I don't like that stuff anymore, like, what else am I going to build? Not knowing that, of course, the old gets out, the new comes in. Because sometimes when you're in that mindset, when you're evolving, it's hard to recognize it.
Yeah.
So with you recognizing it and knowing when, how, and knowing that you're evolving, how do you brace for that? How do you get ready for all the changes to your creative passions that you're about to go through? It's like a bud. It's like a rose kind of blooming and then going back to a bud and then blooming again. How you do that?
Um, what I do is like every morning, like I have this daily affirmation I have written on my whiteboard,
Right.
and I'll burn some sage a little bit, and then I'll just read what I wrote. But it always starts with, God, I don't know where this day is gonna take me,
Hmm.
but I don't know the rest because it's a long ass
Yeah,
paragraph.
yeah, and
But
don't tell people your affirmations just in case.
yeah,
Yeah,
I just know I just say I don't know what this day is gonna take me,
I like that.
and then I just go from there and then just read the whole thing to myself, and then from there, that's where I just start my day off and everything, and that basically helps. To be honest,
It's really
like
just like you're just letting, like you said a couple of times earlier, you're just letting life happen.
exactly,
Damn, I like
like
that.
if you spend your whole life like it's like the Mr. Magoo theory. So it's like you're constantly telling yourself like, all right, I got to do this. I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna do that. That shit may work for a lot of people, telling themselves like, I'm gonna be the next big thing, and this is what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen like this, and that's it. It may happen for a lot of people,
Right.
but it might not happen for you. So, and on top of that, let's say if you keep telling yourself like, I want to be this, I want to do this, and then let's say if it doesn't happen, now you're about to put yourself into some lower vibes, and then you become depressed because of the outcome. So by you basically avoiding that type of feeling, it actually helps. Cause now, damn, I was just on it. I was
Nah,
right
you
there,
with
then I
it. You
lost
with it. You
it.
with it. I was in it. I was like, oh no. I was like, shit. I felt like, oh my god.
Yeah, but it's the Mr. Magoo theory. That's where I was at. But
Yes.
you're basically by letting things like happen by itself on its natural course, you're doing yourself a better favor by doing that, especially a healthier favor by going that approach. Not telling everybody to be like, oh, I'm gonna just relax. Things are gonna happen. I'm gonna be good. No, you still got to put in that work.
Right.
You still have to put in that work, but just know your limits. Know that, all right, I cannot force this particular thing to happen, but I'm gonna keep putting in that work and being focused, being locked in, having that structure until that day comes. Cause it's gonna come as long as you keep working at it.
Damn, I like that.
Damn, I should be a preacher.
I mean, you are killing it, bro. Like, like, and those are because you're giving good you're giving good gems why people can hear it. And which is great because I always seen that like creators now know how to drop the gems than like older generations. You know what I mean? Like older generations was like, yeah, you gotta work hard every day and don't sleep and some weird like bad shit. Like
Nah.
I didn't sleep. I worked on this shit till 5 a.m. and then you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I
Yeah,
made it and
but
I got lucky. And it's like, yeah, I mean, you did, but it's like,
you didn't have
yeah,
a
your
part-time
mental is
job on.
fucked. Like,
Yeah. The thing is, like, those people, they can say that because they didn't really have like a part-time job or anything like that. Like, this was like their thing. And
right,
plus, you gotta take into account back then, it was probably easier because the way of living was different than what it is now.
facts.
Now you need to actually be working because it's crazy out here, man.
It's crazy out here.
Like,
It's
like
nasty.
financially.
Yeah,
So yeah, so it was probably much easier for them at that time. But hey, if that's your thing, like, not sleeping and stuff, like, I'm not knocking you for that. Like, do what you gotta do.
yeah. Work
But
hard how you
me,
get
I
it.
know my limits. Like,
Right,
trust me, I've done the whole no sleep thing. And yeah, it produced a lot of good things,
right.
but I get very cranky. So there are times where like somebody would say something, I'll take it real personal. And that's because I didn't get enough sleep. And then shit goes completely different from that conversation. As opposed to me getting that 7 hours, 8 hours of sleep, I'm pretty much chilling and good.
I like that. Damn, I like that. Damn, I'm loving these answers, man, because I think a lot of people need to hear this from like even like people who are confident in their creativity, in their outlet, in their path, in their passion. You know what I mean? Like it's easy to hear shit like this from somebody who's a fucking millionaire because what else are they gonna fucking tell you? You know what I mean? They can literally tell you
Yeah.
anything. But like true creatives, I always think need to hear from true creatives, and with that, that goes into my next kind of couple of topics, especially on the lighter side, collaborations. You have had some ups, you have had some downs with collaborations. How do you manage going about like not even like filtering out like who to work with, because of course like when you get to that person it just may not work out, you know, for whatever the case may reason, because like I said, you know, you had some ups, you had some downs, but how do you like what is your collab process? Like how do you figure out like, okay, like I fucks with this person, like let me work with this person, let's see what we could build. Like how do you do that? Like what is your collaborative process? Like what passes that filter for you?
It starts from a conversation. Like, we could just be talking about sports. We could just be talking about maybe music, some art, or anything like that. And then from there, it might spark something. And then eventually that would lead to us, setting up a time where we could meet at the
Mm-hmm.
studio. And then from there, we see what happens. If something doesn't come out of it, it's cool. Like, there's no ill will or anything like that. It just didn't work out.
Right.
But maybe it'll work out maybe a couple years from now. Who knows? But at this particular moment, we're just not clicking.
Right.
So it's like knowing when to like know like, all right, I'm not clicking with this person, but I could still be cool with them and talk to them, and then eventually, down the line, something might happen.
Right. To not
So
burn
it's
that
basically not
bridge.
forcing it.
Exactly. Yeah. To not force it, and that's a big thing because a lot of people. I want to go more into your mindset and your like your feelings about force. New Jersey, crabs in a barrel. Crabs in a motherfucking barrel where, you
Yeah.
know, me and you have talked about it constantly. It is a big issue in this state where creators will pull each other down in order to try to rise up instead of helping each other out to the next steps. How do you maneuver that minefield of like, whoa, like, okay, not even with like people, just the minefield in general? How do you avoid the competitive nature of these 9 different industries that you're in? You know what I mean? Like you're
Mhm.
in some very competitive industries creatively. Like, you know, there's everybody can have, you know, everybody claims to do good photo shoots, you know what I'm saying? Everybody claims to make good beats. Everybody claims to make good short films and this and that and whatever the case may be. How do you stand through that competition, and how do you make sure that like you are yourself and you are unique without losing to that pressure?
First of all, the only person I'm in competition with is myself
That's
and
fuck
nobody
no
else.
motherfucking shit.
And it's easy to say that,
It's
but
hard
it
to live
was
it.
tough. It's tough, man. Like
It's
there've
easy
been
to
plenty
say,
of
it's
times I'm like,
hard to live.
there've been plenty of times I'll be like, yo, I gotta be better than this person. I gotta be better than that. But it's like, whoa, now you're bringing in the ego. Now you're bringing in that ego. So you need to like chill out. Like they're doing good and they're whatever they're doing. What are you doing for yourself? Don't worry about them. Worry about what you're doing for yourself. So I had to constantly tell that to myself a lot of times. And I remember, shout out to Undefeated Losers, Hulk and who's Hussein.
Shout out to
Like
Hussein.
he used to tell me, like, yo, you're always in competition with yourself, nobody else. He probably doesn't remember telling me this, but I remember all the gems that he used to give me sometimes, like when we were working on stuff. And at that time, I wasn't ready to take in those stuff.
Right.
So I would just be like, I hear you, but keep doing what I'm doing. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
as I gotten older, I'm just like, you know what? Nah, I am in competition with myself only, and that's it. Everybody, we are all doing great things. We are
Yes.
all great creatives. Like that, we got to start saying that to each other. Like, yo,
Yeah.
you're doing good things. We gotta tell that to each other all the time.
That's a fact.
Like,
That's a fact.
and that's what has helped me to connect with a lot of good people. Because as far as like maneuvering around, like like bad energy or people that I can't fuck with, I've never had that issue because it feels like the universe just brings the right people around me. Like whether it's Undefeated Losers, whether it's you and Renaissance,
No, that's right.
whether it's right now, Free Dimension Broadcast,
No, that's
those
right.
guys, like I've known one of them like practically all my life. The other one met him through this guy. And and especially like my cousin Hollywood Pap, like
With
all
Pep.
these different people that I've constantly like have ties with is just natural connection and the universe looking out for me because these are really great people. And not to forget Lamar too. That's one of my closest friends too,
Shout out
and
Lamar.
he's an artist as well. But all these individuals, like these are great people that I'm blessed to have around me and in my life because all of y'all are helping me become a better person and to be on my shit because I can't be out here slipping like that, man. Y'all
You
doing a lot of good things, so
and you know I'm gonna
I
tell
gotta
you.
keep up.
You know I'm gonna call you if you slip. Sevn, the fuck is you doing? Like,
Exactly.
the fuck is you doing?
Trust me, we've had those calls plenty of times, and
Yeah.
I appreciate those, man.
You to
If
me,
you
me
do
to
not
you.
have somebody, trust me, if you do not have anybody in your circle that is calling you out on what you're doing wrong, you need to start changing
You
who
gotta
you
change your
hang out
circle.
with.
Yeah, you gotta change your circle. If you ain't got somebody to be like, hey, motherfucker, I don't think this the right move.
Exactly.
What are you doing? And damn, man, like that's perfect, man. That's perfect. I'm not mad at that in the slightest. What I want to do, of course, is as we are nearing the end, good 10 minutes left. What I do want to do is talk about your what's new, what's next? I know a lot of people, you are kind of one of the people that, like you said, you're on your Andre 3000. Like, nobody needs to know what you're doing, and nobody really does know what you're doing. But, and of course, in a good way, and give. I'm not saying you gotta release, reveal any projects or anything like that. But you don't even have to talk about projects. But what are you doing creatively, like as of now, that's getting you, that's helping you and getting you to whatever next steps that you want to get to. Like what is Sevn Breed as of right now? Like, what are you doing?
Like I got this new camera now,
Oh no,
so
that's a wrap.
right now I'm just trying to get into like the visual content field.
Yeah.
So it could be like music videos, it could be like commercials or ads or shooting a podcast for somebody like visually. So it's like I'm just trying to attack that lane right now
Mm-hmm.
as I continue to work on like what I want to do musically.
Right.
So right now I'm actually like stationed at this spot that my boy Free Dimension Bensky, he kind of helped me get acclimated to this type of setting, and I appreciate him because being around here and learning from him and my other boy Reddins Feral Rex on Instagram, learning from these two individuals, like like I'm taking a lot of gems from them, and it has helped me to grow. And I just recently found out certain skills that I had that I didn't even know I had within myself, just being around
Hey,
these guys.
I
So
like that, man.
I don't know. Like the only thing I could tell you is something's coming. I don't know what it is. I don't know when, but when it does come out, it just be on the lookout. It's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be a
something.
movement, dog. It's gonna be a movement, dog. I'm
Yeah,
fucking. Oh
it's gonna be
my
something.
god.
It's gonna be serious.
Oh my god. That's good, man. Damn, killed it, dog. Fucking body, like, you bodied it, dog. Fucking
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I don't do interviews at all.
at all. Like,
I
yo,
don't. I
he
don't show
don't, y'all.
I
Like,
don't show myself on Instagram,
he
Twitter, none of that shit.
he don't. This
Because
man
that's
is
just
damn
how I
near a
am, man.
ghost.
I'm. It's not like a. I mean, I'm a natural quiet person.
Yeah.
Like I like listening to other people. I like putting up the mirror for other people, and helping.
Right.
But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I don't have much to talk about. So
Well, that's a lie,
so
cause
right now, all I can
you
say is
killed
take
it.
what you can get right now in this interview.
Yo,
I'm just a very humble guy, man. I don't like talking about myself that much. Like it's it's like even like Pharrell, like he's the best person I could say that fits in that category.
yes, yes,
Like that's why I look up to him because he like I connect with that. It's like I don't like just sitting around talking about myself. Like
yeah.
I'm just more focusing on what I can do for other people, what I can do for myself,
This dude worked
and
with
that's
Michael
it.
Jackson and Prince, and we didn't know until 2020. Like,
Exactly.
like, like he didn't tell us until fucking Drink Champs in 2020. Like, no one would have fucking known that shit.
Exactly.
It's crazy. And yeah, man, I for one, of course I am. eh, You're my brother, man. I'm always ecstatic to see where you go, how much more you evolve, what you do, and always to even keep you a part of things that I'm doing. You're a lifetime collaborator in my eyes. And damn, man, I thank you, man. I thank you for doing this interview. Of course, I truly, I really do, man. I do thank you for doing this interview. Fuck, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, man, this is why, like, you right now are like the reason why I'm glad I called it perception, because it literally is like a perception into a person. Like, ego or not, humble or not, like, it's just like, who is this person? And like, you dropped a lot of gems, you talked a lot of truth, and I thank you for that. And that's it, man. And lastly, if you want, tell the people where they can find you, and we'll wrap it up, man.
Okay. You can find me on Instagram. It's Sevn Breed, SEVN BREED. You can find me on Instagram with that. You can find me on Twitter. Those are the two main
Yeah.
social medias that I use. Facebook, that's just for family and stuff like
Oh
that. So
yeah.
I don't really, but those two are definitely like my go-to.
That's a fact.
Um, Honestly, like if you need help with like music videos or anything like that, you know, you could come through and contact me. You know, we
That
could
is the
set something
guy.
up and then go from there.
Music videos,
Um,
production, engineering. You need a ear on something. It's this
exactly. If
man
you
right
need like
here.
exactly if you need engineering as well, there's a spot here, Free Dimension Broadcast. I don't know if you will you be able to put that name
Yeah,
too?
everything will be in
No?
the description below.
Okay.
Everything will be in the description
Yeah.
below for sure. Just
Like you could go.
I'm of course I'll text you with all the to give me all the links and
Okay.
stuff, but everything will be in the
Okay.
description no matter what.
Yeah. Because even though I'm talking about myself, I also want to include my brothers too
Of
in this.
course.
So if you guys need anything like music related, like obviously me too, but anything visual, engineering, all that, you know, let me know. Like I got y'all. I'm just here to help out, and then eventually maybe uh, a beat album. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, yo, y'all heard that? Yo, Sevn Breed, man. Thank you. Love you, bro. Always. And
Love you too, man.
thank you. And get you up out of here, man. Thank you.